Alright guys, what's going on? This is Otis here, and today I got a nice little, actually a little long gameplay I would say. This was my second game in the, in a 1,000 ticket server on Operation Metro, or I don't even know if it was 1,000, it might have been like 900 or something, but, you know, these games are pretty fun, they're pretty long too, and they're typically reaching like 30 minutes to like 75 minutes on these like 500 to 1,000 ticket, servers. And they're pretty fun, you know, if you're going to play for an extended period of time. If you're going to play for a short period of time, I definitely wouldn't recommend them. But, you know, they're pretty fun to play with. And so I was using the mask because I'm trying to get the new dog tag for that. I'm almost at like 200, a little over 200 kills with it right now, which is pretty nice. So I'm kind of almost there. Maybe a few more games because I've been averaging like 50 or so kills pretty much a game with it on these longer gameplays pretty much, which is pretty nice. I'm liking that. I'm liking the long gameplays most of the time, I would say, because most of the time I have an extended amount of time to play, and so I'm able to play it. But pretty much this commentary today is about what game modes and what little changes I would like in the future of the Battlefield and Medal of Honor series and the Bad Company series. And we get started now, and I know I'm going to get hate for this, but, you know, I say it a lot of the times, and I just think Rush is just an outdated game mode. And the reason why I say that, too, is because typically the sides will be overpowered one way or the other. And, you know, what ends up happening is you'll have these, like, you know, 7 to 10 minute gameplays where you're pretty much, you know, just going through every MCOM station like it's just nothing, like it's not even there. And then you'll have the other extreme, too, on Rush, where you pretty much have, you know, these like 45-minute like games that, you know, on the normal servers that pretty much shouldn't happen. They're just, you know, boring, just snooze fest all the time. And you do occasionally have, you know, the really good gameplays where, you know, everyone's just battling like back and forth, and they're good, you know, like 25 half an hour gameplays. And, you know, it's just really like combative like games, like these like close quarter type games where, you know, pretty much everyone's like fighting up. I mean, a lot of times with Rush, what happens is you'll have like 3 or 4 snipers just sitting back, you know, trying to get kills, and then, you know, it's 8 on 12, and of course the attackers are going to lose, and it's going to take even longer, you know, because they can't kill them as fast for the tickets and stuff, which, you know, I think it's a good game mode, it's a good concept. I just think it's a little outdated, and I think that it needs to be changed up a little bit. And so one of the new game modes I would like to see is maybe a demolition type game mode, maybe where you take like a bomb and you pick it up and you can go and plant it. It'd be like Sabotage for Call of Duty, kind of like that type of a game where you go and you pick up a bomb and you go to the enemy base and plant it, something like that, which, you know, I could definitely see, you know, possibly happening, which I think would be definitely an interesting game mode. And you can even do it on the, you know, maybe even on the bigger maps. And close quarters would be an absolutely perfect game mode for it too, which would be pretty nice. And also, I'd like to see like a true capture the flag style game, because we don't have a capture the flag in Battlefield, or at least, you know, what I've seen. I've only played Battlefield 3 and Bad Company 2, so in my experience for the Battlefield games, the Bad Company are pretty limited. And the last Medal of Honor 2, or for the PlayStation, you know, I was on playing that. But, you know, I think that'd be pretty interesting, like a capture a flag mode, like a capture a flag on Metro or even Bizarre would just be pretty freaking fun. And you know, it'd be pretty interesting, you know, with how like the maps are like set up into and stuff, because you pretty much only have, you know, 1 or 2 ways to go, like on Metro, which is why you have all this, you know, chaotic action pretty much all the time. And of course, you know, there's, you know, a few other like little ways if you're out like in the streets near A and stuff. But, you know, it's just something that'd be definitely a good game mode that I think that could you know, add a little bit extra to the Battlefield series and everything. And the next thing I would like would definitely be a like an escort or like a VIP game mode, depending on how you definitely want to call it. I know in SOCOM, I was a heavy SOCOM gamer, you know, pretty much until recently. And pretty much like a VIP or an escort mode is you would have you know, 1 to 3, you know, non-playing characters, NPCs, you know, pretty much you would have to protect to a certain point, and you'd get control of them, and you'd try to walk them. The other team would actually try to end up, you know, killing them, and, you know, if they were ended up killing them, then the defending team would win. And if the attacking team that took the VIPs to a certain point, you'd be able to extract them, and they would get the win. And pretty much how that mode Another good thing with that mode too is if typically when there's 3 VIPs, which you typically have like in the escort VIP game modes, if you end up 2 of them end up dying, then the extraction is canceled, and then your job is to protect that last 1 VIP, which would be a pretty interesting game mode, because there's a lot of hiding places on certain maps and stuff. That would definitely probably be a mode that, it could work with all the maps. Definitely, you can maybe put them in a vehicle, you can fly them in a helicopter, try to hide them and protect them. And, it's definitely a fun and very frustrating game mode, too, because there could be some idiot that goes and takes them and gets them killed right away. But, I mean, if you get some good communicating teams, you're able to, you're able to pretty much, kill them the whole entire time, or protect them the whole entire time, depending on what type of team you're pretty much playing on and stuff. And another thing that I actually like to really see in this game would be like some turrets or some gun emplacements. I know we have the tow launchers and stuff, like the emplacement weapons, but I would actually like to see maybe like a 50 cal somewhere, with on some like sandbags or on top of a building that I could get to, and just start shooting like a 50 cal somewhere. And maybe not even like a 50 cal, but maybe just some gun emplacement, or there's some like type of machine gun, because I think that'd be pretty interesting too. A lot of people probably wouldn't get on it because you get sniped or killed so easily, but it'd be fun to just jump on that type of a gun, here and there and stuff, which would be it'd be fun. And also another thing I would like to maybe see is maybe some automatic grenade launchers, and those could even be on the gun emplacements too, or even maybe themselves. I wouldn't necessarily say as like a weapon, because that could get way overpowered, because I mean pretty much the USAS before the recent patch, that was pretty much a grenade launcher, or an automatic grenade launcher, until it got patched. But I could definitely see that being fun and stuff. And I'd actually like to see some more different types of weapons on like certain vehicles and stuff too. Like for the Humvee, I would actually like seeing maybe like a tow launcher on it, or maybe even an automatic grenade launcher on that one would even be fun too. And that would definitely be some like variety and just some different types of things with the vehicles and stuff too. Because if you've got a Humvee with a rocket launcher on it, you're a pretty good anti-tank unit pretty much there. We were able to maybe take a tank out, and you're really a lot more fast than tanks. So if they don't have a guided shell on, they're going to be pretty hard hitting you and stuff. And I think it would just be some variety for the vehicles, and maybe that could even be something with the armored kill coming in, late fall or whenever they actually come out with it, which would be pretty interesting, I think, for sure. And now this is probably another big one too that I'm sure a lot of people would probably agree with. And I would like to see on the Russian side maybe like an anti-personnel mine, which like a claymore, except it's a little bit smaller. I know certain games call them different things and stuff, but something that you could put down and they blow up automatically when you step on them, just like a true like a minefield you could create or something. And I'd actually like seeing the claymores change to where you can actually set them down and you have to blow them up. No more of this automatic claymore stuff. I just think that's just ridiculous that someone's able to put a claymore down, step away, and you have this like automatic tripwire on the claymore. I think that's just it gets out of hand, and it gets abused a lot too. And that's another reason why also the claymores were patched a little bit. They're not as big of a problem as they were before, but they still can be a problem with some experienced gamers who know where to place them and know where to stay alive and stuff, especially with the machine guns. Because you can throw your ammo case down, set your machine gun up on a wall, and just let your claymores do your work while you get your 2 kills. Jump out from your gun emplacement, set 2 more claymores down, which is kind of not fun, but I mean, I guess it is what it is. It's just, luckily it's just not as bad as it as it used to be. But I think the last type of game mode that I would definitely like to see in Battlefield, which would completely be able to do now, which would be like a convoy mode, which would pretty much be you have to protect like an X amount of vehicles, whether it be like 1, 2, or 3 vehicles, and you have to drive them to a certain point. And pretty much like the Russian side or the American side, depending on what side you could play, you'd have to set up like defense positions and try to blow up the trucks, you know, before they get to the certain like extraction point for the trucks. And you know, it's definitely a mode that could be on Medal of Honor very easily with the terrorist side and the non-terrorist side. But even in Battlefield, you know, it could work extremely well too. Or maybe you have like a tank, you know, going and protecting the vehicles and stuff, where you're trying to protect the tank, and you know, you could be able to repair the vehicles too. So it'd be, you know, it's definitely something that would, you know, bring some like good legitimate variety, you know, to the gameplay. And you know, you could you can set up with like no vehicles, you know, maybe where you're on like certain maps where, you know, all you have to do is just protect the vehicles and you don't have any like vehicle support. You wouldn't have like any tank support or anything like that, or maybe even like you wouldn't have any air support, you wouldn't have any helicopters or airplanes, you know, protecting the vehicles and whatnot, which, you know, would definitely be pretty fun. You know, you definitely would have to have a lot of team play required. You'd have to, you know, put them down and stuff. And you know, you could have two types of vehicles too. You could have, you know, non-controlled vehicles where, you know, they're gonna go drive themselves from point A to point B without anyone's control. And then you could also maybe do, you know, where someone has to actually get in the vehicle and then drive it from point A to point B. You know, which would, you know, you wouldn't have to have any like linear like AI, you know, things you would have to put in the game. And, you know, someone would have to sacrifice themselves and, you know, drive the vehicle and stuff. But, you know, you could give them a ridiculous amount of points if they're able to drive from, you know, point A to point B. And, you know, you'd still be able to jump out and repair them, you know, when you want to, or jump out and kill someone. But, you know, that's just definitely some, you know, some little variety that I would actually love to see, you know. And that mode, at least the convoy mode, that was in SOCOM 3, and that was just a fun mode that everyone that I know played it pretty much enjoyed it and just loved that game mode. But, you know, it's something, you know, vehicles are already in this game, you know, it's something that'd be a complete great possibility that I would like seeing. But on the very last note, I would definitely have to say, I'm hoping for, you know, for the DLCs to come, you know. I wish they were here right now, because I just can't wait for close quarters. I can't wait for that, you know, just for that, like, close, you know, quarters combat, you know, where it's just, like, intense fighting the whole entire time. And then I can't wait for Armored Kill 2. And the one thing I hope that they have in Armored Kill is, you know, scout and attack helicopters, you know, on the consoles. Because I know they do have them on the computer and the PC, but it'd be something that'd be very interesting and very nice on the console, I think, if you can get attack helicopter or scout helicopters, you know, on the same side, which would be pretty interesting, I think, for sure. But you know, hopefully you guys ended up enjoying this commentary and video and gameplay, and thanks for watching, guys.